Welcome to a later than scheduled edition of the Arsenal Blueprint live. Yes, it's a warm one this evening. Let's just say we can keep it down a sec. Let's see if I can open the back door. 2 seconds. Hello. Now, the problem I had earlier was not only that we have 50 subscribers, it was on private mode. So let's just test this out. So let's see the Arsenal Blueprint live. To promise some news around. You see, what do you think? My little clip-on badge. Pretty cool, eh? There we go. So no privacy restraints. If you want to join, you can join. If I went onto my Arsenal Blueprint live channel, I get at least 300 or 400 come in live. This is different. This is a very young channel, and just see how it goes. And the more the more I can do these, the better, because um, we can build up, and I can do watch-alongs on there as well. Door open. So what do you want to talk about? That's right, we've got a schedule, but let's just go through. Let's talk Arsenal. Let's talk Arsenal. Who we brought in and who we could still bring in, and I think one player I think will be brought in. He's playing. He's Dutch. He's playing in a Champions League playoff match. I don't know. He plays for PSV Eindhoven. Cody Gakpo. Leeds United were actually looking at him to replace Rafinha. Now, whether to join Leeds, I mean, if he's willing to join Leeds, who says he was? But I mean, he's going to join Arsenal, isn't he? I think the chance of playing for a top Premier League team, who, in my humble opinion, in fact, in my expertise, football knowledge, brain, and opinion, I think Arsenal will, this time next season, we'll be getting ready for a season that involves Champions League. And if we can attract the sort of players that we've attracted this summer, next summer, watch out, City and Liverpool, or whoever's champions, because we will be coming for you. I give it now a 2-year window. If this season goes as well as I'm hoping, I'm praying, next season could be a major challenge from Arsenal, and then the following season a challenge, and who knows, we could break the City Liverpool's monopoly on the Premier League. People at one stage last season they were calling it a Farmers League. It was getting that easy for City, but I think Liverpool, thank God, pulled us out of that Farmers League. A Farmers League tag, which is a horrible tag to have. The Premier League's never ever been a Farmers League. It never will be a Farmers League. And anyway, with the third, even without the European, the big ears, which personally is my favourite trophy in European football. I've never experienced it. I've come close in Paris. I went to that final. I was right behind the goal. Thierry Henry went 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and all they do is 9 times out of 10 is a goal, and Valdez saved it. Imagine getting 2-0 like that, even with 10 men. Well done to Wenger, because within 2 years of that, he rebuilt a team with, remember, Eduardo, the Croatian Eduardo, and Alexander Haleb, and a few other additions. I think without Eduardo's sickening injury, he almost had to have his leg amputated. It was that bad. I never knew that until recently. That guy was absolutely on fire that season. I think Arsenal may have won the league in 2007, 2008, but we didn't. So a lot of that had to do with the injury to Eduardo. Poor Eduardo. I wonder what he's up to nowadays. I think we should make an ambassador of the club, give him a job. I'm sure he needs an income, as his career was cut so short. So it's people like that a part of the Arsenal family, and it's people like that you need to look after. Anyway, our next target is a Dutchman. Now they're saying we need outgoings before we come incomings, but we've got outgoings coming. We've got Mamo Neuer who's been sent. So I can't believe we're not putting at least a £2 million add-on if Fulham stay up. That makes it to 10 mil. I mean that'd be something, but nothing. But we're doing it out of respect for Burnt Leno, not Fulham or anyone like that. It was Burnt Leno, his service, and the fact that he didn't moan once. He didn't go to the press. He didn't leak this, leak that. I remember his game at Villa Park when he kept the clean sheet and Saka got the winner, and all the players huddled around him. And we had fantastic team spirit last season, and we still have this season. But this time around, we've got some quality players in there. Now, Cody Gakpo, let's get a look at his statistics, because I think this could be Arsenal's next signing. He covers 3 positions: right wing, left wing, and centre forward. Cody Gakpo. Arsenal signing £37 million. Cody Gakpo would be a massive boost for West Ham. We've got Jared Bowen. I was just talking about keeping Jared Bowen. I mean, I ain't seen. I'm not going to pretend I know loads about Gakpo because I don't. I've just seen, YouTube clippings of him and extended ones actually. And he is seriously quick, seriously skillful. He suits the Premier League down to the ground, like a lot of Dutchmen do. And what I love about it is the fact that he can play centre forward as well as winger. Give Martinelli and maybe even Saka a good competition. If Saka needs a rest, we've got a perfect replacement there in Gakpo, and same with Martinelli. Mamo Neuer, I keep saying Mamo Neuer. He's fighting for Mamo Neuer's spot. He's not going to get it, is he? But maybe in the next Euros or definitely the next World Cup, I think Neuer. Keepers seem to have gone forever, don't they? But Leno's only up 29, 30, so Leno is younger than Neuer, so he could go on and finally get that German jersey, #1 jersey that he craves. He's not in the same league as Manuel Neuer. He is a one-off. Has been the best. I think Manuel Neuer was the first sweeper keeper, if you know what I mean, in modern day football. Absolutely exquisite with his feet. Would push Bayern up to have a really high line, as he would be the last. He was revolutionary for his time, and some of the saves the guy's made over the years is just unbelievable. I mean, I used to play in goals when I was younger, because I was crap. I wasn't very good on that. I wasn't the worst player. Of course, I could put the ball in the net, but I was better at keeping them out. I think Gakpo will be a brilliant signing for Arsenal. 35 to 37 million. So I think it's gonna end up like 40, between 35 and 40 with add-ons. That's fine. That's fine. Because Jared Bowen would have cost us 50, 60 million plus add-ons. So, yeah. You know what you get with Bowen? You don't quite know what you get with Gakpo, but he's not a £72 million Pepe risk, is he? I think Gakpo would be a massive success at the Emirates. Linking up with Jesus, Saka, and Odegaard feeding them. And healthy competition for Martinelli on that left. Healthy competition for Saka as well. And takes the pressure off Eddie and Katia if Jesus did get injured. It's not all on Eddie's shoulders then. We've got Gakpo up there as well. So I think it's a really smart move from Arsenal, and it's the move we need, because when you look at Liverpool's front line, there's the most City at the moment. So they've only got Haaland and Alvarez. You know, they sold Sterling, they sold Jesus. They got Grealish, yeah. I'm talking about out and out winger strokes, Haaland and Alvarez. But Bernardo Silva is, of course, a goal threat, and Kevin De Bruyne, but they're not. They're midfielders. Gakpo's an attacker. You know, he's a winger. He's a striker. So, what gunner out there doesn't want the to do with Gakpo, because I think you're mad if you don't. I could just see him being a massive success, and I see the Arsenal fan base taking to him straight away. Electrifyingly fast, skillful, and he puts ball in the net. Oh yeah, I was going to get his stats up which are very impressive, man. Okay. So he played so even if PSV qualified for the Champions League, it's not a guarantee that he'll want to move. He played 6 matches, so group stage for PSV last season. Scored 2 goals in the Champions League. And then they, of course, went to the Europa League, played 4, scored 2 again. No assists in any of them. Eredivisie last season. Now this is of course not the Premier League, but impressive. 27 matches, 12 goals, 13 assists. So he's averaging just above an assist a game. And basically in half the games he's playing, he's assisting and he's scoring. So you could say if he's not done both in one game, he probably has done in some of them games. He's probably assisted and scored in the same match, maybe twice in one match. But he is averaging a goal and assist 1 and 2 games, which is very, very impressive. Take that to the Premier League, you're probably looking at a goal and assist every 3 games. I'll take that. It's better than Martinelli's stats. Hungry players, intelligent players. Again, would you say he's Project Youth? He's 23. No. At 23, you're a man. Yeah, you're a young man, but you know, these doubters that doubted Mikel Arteta, I saw the most positive video from Lee Gunner ever. Check it out. Just go on Lee Gunner's timeline. It's unreal. And I'll tell you what, Lee, if Arsenal do something big in the next couple of years, and Arteta's the coach, he won't like it because his ego's massive himself. But he will eat humble pie if Arsenal win something big. And they're up there challenging for the Premier League every season. I know Klopp signs for 2026, Guardiola, similar. But that doesn't mean shit, really. I mean, it means City will be dominant. Will Liverpool? I don't know. I think Liverpool got a lot of surgery to do in their midfield, where Arsenal are flying really high with their youth, Project Youth, and these players are 1 year older, and we've added. I haven't even seen him play yet, but Vieira, he got run out in the Emirates Cup with Seville. I'm pretty sure he got some sort of run out. I think West City have been so good, right, where they haven't needed a number 9 as such, right? Is because they dominate the ball in midfield. Players like De Bruyne, Silva, Jesus, Sterling, up to that point, just absolutely dominating teams in midfield, and you can't get near them on the way, the fullbacks, João Cancelo, who's now got a number 7 jersey. Bend it like Cancelo. He does fancy himself as a bit of a winger, doesn't he? And rightly so. I mean, he's fun. I'd take João Cancelo like that, mate. It'd be my right. He wouldn't be on the left. He'd be on my right. He'd be on the right. I think City have made a mistake in selling us Jesus and Zinchenko. You never sell to a rival now. City, this is going to be City's downfall for me. Not just this season, but in the next couple. They've underestimated Arsenal. They've underestimated Arteta. I just think it's madness selling them 2 players to us. Because if they think we're going to be going, yeah, you can have Bukayo Saka now. Nah. He's going to sign that contract. And he's going to be an Arsenal player. And we'll play hardball. We don't need the money. Like that, we don't need it. Cronky Sports Entertainment, whatever it's called, KSI. We don't need it. We've got plenty of money. I mean, look at the money we've spent over the last 4 or 5 years. It's insane amounts of money since before Arteta came in and afterwards. We spent 120 in this window. We spent 150 last season. Biggest spenders in Europe. And you've got to remember, look at the team that won that FA Cup were a ragtag team. If it wasn't for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, we wouldn't have won it. right? I think a lot of credit's got to be given to Arteta, Edu, his recruitment staff. Um, and with the emergence of Newcastle now, another oil giant, believe they will be in the top four before you can blink, mate. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, quite a few people still don't believe in Arsenal, and I don't blame them. It's like, it's almost 50-50 on whether Arsenal are going to finish the top four this season, right? Um, my gut tells me we're going to get in the top four. My head tells me we're definitely going to get in the top four. But I always got told to trust your gut. So I'm trusting my gut. And I just don't see us not finishing in the top four, even with injuries, because I think we can bring some players in. And if it was a bad injury and it was hampering us, obviously with the World Cup to recover players who sadly won't be able to go to the World Cup, but we'll have time to recover, a good 6 weeks. And also, what's right after Boxing Day is the window, January window, and if we had to, if Partey's injury was really that bad, because Partey's not just a holding midfielder, he's a class act. Like you got used Basuma, apparently he got dragged off the other day in their preseason friendly because he was playing so bad. But Basuma is not in the same league as Thomas Partey, skill set wise, and bullying and tough tackling and that. Yeah, he's probably above Partey there, but Partey's just class, man. I'm looking forward to them locking horns in the North London derby. Um, I doubt Basuma is. I bet Partey is. Basuma will be well up for it, but I bet the more nervous will be used Basuma. Yeah. Welcome to the cauldron. Anyway, so yeah, what do you think? Cody Gakpo, 35 to 40 mil. I think it makes perfect sense. Yuri Tillemans, 25 mil. Makes sense. And cover for Partey. We might be able to pick up cover for Partey for anywhere between 10 to 15 mil. You know, there's players out there in the French, especially in the French league, that could do a job. Anyway, top six predictions. I went for Liverpool. The reason I go for Liverpool is because their team's more settled. They've had less outgoings. They've had one major outgoing in Mane. They've got a great crop of youngsters and like players like Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones. We've got Mohamed Salah, who look really razor sharp for a curtain opener. I mean, he looked like Salah, like mid-season to Salah. I mean, he's just phenomenal, and Liverpool will be really hard to stop this season. And for me, they are the blueprint. They are the benchmark. But eventually, Liverpool will fall away. This is what I'm talking about, right? City won't. Man City will not fall away. If anything, Newcastle will rise up, right? That's where Arsenal come into play. Teams at Arsenal. Depends how long Antonio Conte stays around at Spurs. It wouldn't surprise me if he signed a new contract. Or if things don't go his way this season, doesn't have the season everyone's expected them to have, if they crash out of the Champions League early, um, and in the Europa League with us, I think that would be just as us, to be honest. Because you've got all these cocky Tottenham fans mocking us. You know, you got to pay Thursday and Sundays and all this. Mate, Conte's record in the Champions League is abysmal compared to other elite coaches. I don't know how you can call Antonio Conte elite, and in the top 5 managers in the world, because he's never won biggies. And until you've won the UEFA Champions League, you cannot be you cannot be considered to be one of the best coaches, or in the top 5 or 10 even in the world. Domestically, Conte is brilliant. That's the only thing that worries me about Tottenham, is them doing a madness and winning the Premier League. But I just think even if City were off Boyle or Liverpool, one of them would be on song, and I think they'd have too much for Tottenham. And Tottenham's window's a strange window. Looking at our direct competitors now, I've talked about City, I've talked about Liverpool, Darwin Núñez, of course, at Liverpool. But now I'm talking Spuds, our North London rivals. Basuma, the best signing for the money, 25 mil, man, that's a bargain. Langley, is it? Is it a loan or a buy? I'm not sure. But he can't, in my opinion, he can't be that good if Barca are willing just to let him go. I think Arsenal have got Tottenham's best defender. Don't forget they got Eric Dyer in their defence. He is better defender with better defenders around him, but it's still Eric Dyer, mate. Romero, he is a quality player. Gives it 110% all the time. You got that young Jed Spence, Doherty or Spence. So I think Spence will be blooded in the smaller games at first. And if he impresses, he might take Doherty's position. Left back, I don't know if they've got Reguilon. I'm not 100% sure what's going down on the left hand side. I know Perisic is there, of course. Maybe it's Perisic. Now he is a very, very good player. Top, as it would call, baller. He is a baller. He's a fantastic football player. He has been throughout his career. He can not only get up and down them wings and whip in them crosses, he can get on the end of them as well. He can score volleys, headers, free kicks. He's got a lot in his locker, and he was one of the main reasons England got beat in Russia in the World Cup a few years back. But age ain't on his side, but I don't think that's going to matter this season. But he's never played in the Premier League before. That's another one. Another one. I don't think that matters. I mean, he's played at the top level. He's won Champions Leagues at Bayern Munich. He's won Scudettos at Milan. I don't know who else he's played for. He's always been at a big club. I mean, Spurs is probably his smallest club. They've just got a nice new shiny stadium, which they'll be paying off for quite a long time, I would have thought. That's something a lot of people don't give the Cronkies credit for. They came in and they just went, debt gone. They wiped it. You know, it was talking about stupid when Arsenal were going to wipe that debt, but Stan Kroenke just wiped the debt. So, big up Silent Stan. He's talking with his back pocket at the moment, and I like that. And Josh is heavily involved. And say what you want about the Cronkies, I don't give a shit. As long as they're backing our managers, who is Arteta at the moment, Arteta's still not considered to be amongst the elite. Well, you know what? I've got a feeling he might be in the elite bracket in the next couple of years. And I think we might imagine this as having to try and fight to keep Mikel Arteta. I love what I do that. You can imagine if he did well, won the Europa League or did something. Personally, I think he would turn them down. I think he wants to win the Champions League with Arsenal. I know he does, and he wants to win the Premier League. He wants to win the lot. That'll do me, and then he can go away wherever he wants. Whether he'll win all that, I mean, God, Christ. But maybe if Arsene Wenger would have spent some money, who knows what he could have achieved. But he just refused to pay these massive wages and big fees for players. And that's where Wenger fell behind for me. In his thinking, he just couldn't get his head around the modern game. That's where he had to go, man. A decade too late. I wanted him gone, really. After the 2007-8 season, after the Eduardo leg break, I wanted him gone after that season. Anyway, it's enough of Wenger. We want no negativity now. So we're talking rival Spurs. They got Richarlison. They're trying to compare Richarlison. I mean, apparently he starts with Brazil ahead of Jesus. Well, I'll tell you now. If Jesus carries on his pre-season form into the Premier League, which I think he will, Richarlison will get less game time than he did at Everton for Tottenham because of Kane and Son. Unless Conte's going with 3 up front, which I don't think he will. I just don't see it. I see Richarlison as a bench player with this new 5 substitutes that are coming on. That's why for Arsenal, Gakpo is going to be an important player with Martinelli and players like that. I'll talk about that maybe a later date, the 5 substitute rules, how it can affect. We saw a bit of it last season in the Champions League, and the bigger teams, the teams with better players, are going to be much more dangerous. It's as simple as that. Um, Tottenham are going to be dangerous this season, but for me, there's two reasons Tottenham got fourth last season. One, Arsenal bottled it and had an injury crisis to two players that we just couldn't replace. We put El Neni in Partey's position. Yes, he did his best. He didn't El Neni. He fought his heart out for the club. He's a limited player. And Nuno Tavares is Nuno, isn't he? That's why he's off on loan to Marseille. So Arsenal was slowly getting players out. That's Nuno now on loan, and Bernat sold to Fulham. So we're getting there. We're getting there. I can see Arteta's plan. I really can. For the first time, I can see his plan. And it's a scary plan for the rest of the league. People who slag Arteta off and put him down have got a big shock coming. I'm going to go for Arsenal finishing above Tottenham. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on Tottenham this season. A lot. I'm not sure how Conte's going to cope with that. If a big job in Italy comes up, I think he'll be off skis, mate. I do. I think if the Juventus job came back up, or I'm not sure he left there, or I don't know. If a big job in Italy became available, he might go. But I can also see him signing a year extension, maybe a 2-year tops. He doesn't stay at clubs much longer than that. He really doesn't. So I think, and rather Antonio Conte doesn't stick around in North London, the better for Arsenal. Because who the hell are they going to get to replace him? I'd like to see that will be funny to watch, because they will be miles behind Arsenal in their management and philosophy. They'll probably have a very decent squad, but that manager and squad might have a different philosophy on how they want to play, and different players, and X, Y, and Z get sold, and X, Y, and Z come in, and it just changes everything. So, anyway, Chelsea and Manchester United. Chelsea, you would say, would be our biggest threat to finish in the top four. In my opinion, if we hadn't got the injuries to Partey and Tierney, we'd have finished third last season above Chelsea, which would have knocked Chelsea down to fourth, and Tottenham wouldn't have even got in the Champions League. Arsenal were better than Chelsea for long periods of last season. We've won at Stamford Bridge. We haven't been beaten in Stamford Bridge in our last 3 visits there. A 2 draw, 1-0 win, and a 4-2 win, which was that one last season, that 4-2 last season. We seem to have the hoodoo over Thomas Tuchel at the Bridge. He's only played us at the Emirates once and beat us once, but that's when we were on our terrible losing streak. But normally, again, in recent history, we've been doing quite well against Chelsea at home as well. So I'm not scared of Chelsea at all. And I'm not talking about us beating them 4-0 in the Orlando Cup. That means nothing. If anything, it just means we seem more ready for the season than they do at the moment. But Todd Bowley's got to put his finger out of his big black, big American arsehole. And yeah, his big butt. Sorry, I was going to say. Um, I mean, are they going to go with Brozier? Because I, when we signed Jesus, right? Who did I go and listen to? City fans, well-informed City fans like Big Steve, like Daps, YouTubers, and a few others. Pep Guardiola as well. Pep Guardiola was the first. Jesus is the best high pressing striker in world football, which means European football as well. And he is, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he hounds you into mistakes. When the say the defenders start to play the ball out from the back, right? Jesus will just go, and he will hound you, wherever the ball's being passed, hound, until eventually, if you're not a very, very, very accomplished team at passing out from the back, you will make a mistake. You'll give that ball away to a Martin Odegaard, or you'll give it away to a Martinelli, or you'll give it to Jesus himself, or a Saka, whatever. You'll give the ball away. And boom, we can hit you with a goal. Or a chance for a goal. And it just adds pressure, especially away from home when the crowd's against us. And it's a good way to silence him early by getting an early goal. But if it's at home and the crowd's electric, they love that. I'll tell you what, mate. Yeah. Arsenal fans are going to love Jesus because of his commitment. He's just hungry. And he gives 110% for his shirt. And that's all Arsenal fans will. You know, what any football fan wants. But that's all Arsenal fans wish for. Just Cannon here. You give 110 for that. And you'll be loved at his football club. I think Chelsea are in deep, deep trouble unless they go out into the market and sign at least 2 minimum players. I think they need 4 players. They need a dynamic holding midfielder. They need Declan Rice, really. It costs an absolute fortune. Or Frankie de Jong. It costs a lot less. So I can see why they're in for de Jong as well. And I don't know why they're not taking Didier Drogba. This is what I think Arsenal might end up with this player, Victor Osimhen. Is it Napoli? I think a lot of teams are going to be looking at this guy. He's big, he's fast, and he can put a ball in that. Apparently he's got scary pace. So I can imagine him and Jesus together. They would be the pressing machine of Jesus. Just be scary with Gakpo, if we signed him, or Martinelli, Saka. Yeah, I think next season, if we got into the Champions League, an Oshman would be on the wish list for sure. Didier Drogba has said he is the next big thing. I don't know why Todd Bowley needs to look at. I mean, they sacked everyone. Peter Cech, Marina, all of them, more or less. And he's doing it himself. I find that very bizarre. What does he? Oh, I'm sorry, but what does he know about European football? He might be good in the negotiations, but I'm sorry. I just find it all a bit weird. This could be the downfall of Chelsea for a few years until they get a sporting director. They've got a new sporting director actually. I've never heard of him before. I thought they were getting Michael Edwards from Liverpool. Anyway, um, former ex-Liverpool sporting director from Liverpool. Anyway, Chelsea are, for me, because they've left it so late, and the Premier League season for Chelsea and everyone else starts this weekend. They could fall behind the pace. I mean, it cost Arsenal last season, and I think this season Arsenal and Tottenham for that third and fourth place will be razor sharp. There won't be no point in it, 3 points in it, but we'll just be clear of them this time. Manchester United, strange. Criticising Ronaldo for leaving early with his Portuguese mate Delo. Ten Hag said they could leave early. But, I mean, the guy's a disgrace. Why don't he just pee off back to Sporting Lisbon where he started? You know, ironic that his last two clubs could be Manchester United and Sporting, the two teams that gave him Sporting gave him the chance, and Man U made him a superstar. To go on and do what he did at Real and Juve and what for? I just think it's disgusting. Ronaldo's behaviour, spoiled brat. He's a spoiled brat. And if I was at Manchester United, I wouldn't want him anywhere near the team. I think he's poison. If I was Arteta, he would get rid. Get rid. Like I did with Aubameyang. Just get away. I don't care if you get us 15, 20 goals in the Prem. I'd rather we struggled for a season and found a new striker. I think they're going for that guy from Austria, so, Red Bull, whatever, Salzburg. He scored the winner against Liverpool in the pre-season the other day. I can't remember his name now, but yeah, United looking at him, and I'd rather have that a young, hungry player coming in. Players who have finished at United now. This is where it makes me laugh when they compare our squads. Martinez looks like a really good player. I can see why Arteta wanted him, but maybe as a holding midfielder, or maybe as left back. I don't know. But United paid double, £57 million. I wonder if there's any add-ons in there. Almost £60 million. We paid 30. million with 2 million of add-ons with Zinchenko. We theoretically paid half the price for Alexander Zinchenko, the Ukrainian captain, which I think is a magnificent bit of business. I'll take Zinchenko any day of the week. He's a magnificent player. And I never thought I'd see him in an Arsenal jersey. I never knew he was an Arsenal fan. They kept that one quiet, didn't they? But yeah, great to see him in an Arsenal jersey, and I'm sure he'll be raring to go on Friday night for the Gunners. These are the sort of players, if we're struggling at half time, say we're 1 down at Palace, we're even 2 down, or 2 what? God forsake we're 2 down, yeah, but just say it. Alright, Palace, Sellers Park. These are the sort of players that are going to get up and give that team, come on. I don't know if Jesus is that sort of player, but I know Zinchenko is. He's a talker. He's passionate. Gabby Jesus seems like he leads from example more than his mouth. But Odegaard, I think Zinchenko would have made a great captain, but I just don't think he's been at the club long enough. But maybe in time he could get the vice captaincy. Who knows? But you can just tell straight away the relationship between Zinchenko and Arteta is spot on. It's there, isn't it? Who else can we take from City? I mean, if they really do want Saka, they probably will get him if we don't get. For me, Saka's a London boy, he's an Arsenal fan, he come from our academy. If we're getting Champions League football, we're contending in the Champions League, and we're Premier League in the ranks and mix every season. There's no reason for him to leave. It's if we don't do them things. But I think we will. So I've never been more confident. Never. So I think Chelsea are going to fall away unless they make some serious signings. And even if they do, it's going to take time for them to bed in their new teammate. There are obviously going to be players from outside the Premier League. Sometimes it can take a season for players to settle in this league. And that is the very best. To Bergkamp ages, to Henry ages, to Robert Pires ages. I'm just a few examples. This is years ago, it can take really good players quite a long time to settle in this wonderful league we have. I think, do you know what? I'm going to go for Man U 5th, Chelsea 6th. I know that sounds mad, but I think there's going to be a lot of upheaval at Chelsea this season. I see Thomas Tuchel either being sacked or walking. I really can. If Tuchel doesn't get the players he wants, he'll just say, and then Chelsea will be on the hunt for a new manager, and that is not going to be easy. That won't be at the start of a season. That won't be easy, my friend. So, everyone thought Chelsea's problems were over when the Bowley group took over. But I think they've just begun. And everyone was going, yeah, Bowley, Bowley. I just don't see what all the hype's about. Yeah, he's some Raheem Sterling, great player. But you need players around him. You don't need Timo Werner around him, who's plays in the same position. They are, to be fair to Chelsea, they are trying to get rid of players as well. But I think it's going to take Chelsea a season to get rid and get in new players. Um, Chelsea have got a massive rebuild job on. And I think in that rebuild job, they're going to fall out of the top six, top four, where Arsenal will officially take their spot. Manchester United, I think, will be better than people think. They haven't got an amazing team. But don't forget, they still got Harry Maguire at back. Also got Arturo Martinez, but Ericsson, I think, is the most exciting signing. He's 30 with a pacemaker, you know. I mean, Marcus Rashford, for me, this is his last hurrah. He'll be pushing really hard to get in the England squad, but I think Marcus Rashford days are numbered for England. I don't think he'll ever play for England again. I really don't. If he doesn't get an England squad for Qatar, he will never play for England again. Not under this manager, anyway. And rightly so, he's been abysmal. Um, Big one for Sancho. I don't want to see Sancho do really well, but obviously I don't want English players to do really badly. Big one for Sancho because it's good for England. I think Sancho might be the only shining light from United front line this season. Bruno Fernandes for me. I'd rather play Ericsson in Fernandes' position. I really would. But the thing Fernandes does give you is goals that Ericsson may lack in. Maybe they can work together as Ericsson is more of an 8, hybrid 8. Fernandes is a 10. We'll see. It'll be interesting. United have had an impeccable pre-season. I think they're unbeaten. So, but I'm sure that comes to an end sooner or later when the Premier League starts up. So that's my top 6. I think Chelsea are going to fall off. Unless, even if Bowley pulls his finger out his hat, it depends how far. If Bowley makes a couple of good signings, I think Chelsea will get 5th. If he doesn't, I think United might get 5th. So it's a toss of a coin between United and Chelsea, but both Europa League spots for me. Who's going down? Bournemouth, Fulham, Leeds. Surprise package, Nottingham Forest. Everyone's saying, oh, Forest going down. I don't think so. That's who people who don't know the history of football and don't know the history of Nottingham Forest. Yeah. Hey, this is a message to you, Man City fans. They've got stars on their jerseys that you haven't got yet. That's right. They're called European Cups. No, but take a note of that. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. My first live stream. And my next live stream will, I don't know if I'm going to do a watch along. I might do a watch along. Yeah, I'll do a watch along for the Arsenal game. Yeah, why not? Hey, start doing watch alongs. I won't do them every week because I'll be going to some games, but I can always do a watch alongs to the away games because I don't have valid tickets for them ones. I have a mate or I managed to wangle a ticket somehow for an away match. I want to talk about the evolution of Mikel Arteta's Arsenal and where I think we're going. And I think the sky's the limit. Damn, I mean, even Thierry Henry's ripped into him. You know, he's had it from all corners. I've ripped it. I've torn into Arteta, big style. But I'm not eating no humble pie because I've backed him as well. I've not been a flippy floppy. I've backed Arteta 80-20. You know, because I always want Arsenal to win. And but if he flops this season, then he probably will have to go. He can't be spending these, and Arteta knows this. He can't be spending all this big money and not achieving nothing. But the next couple of weeks are vital. Not only picking up points in the league, it's securing a couple of signatures. 3 would be ideal. Cover for Partey, attacking central mid, and Cody Gakpo, attacking winger / centre forward. I think we're nailed on to get Gakpo, Cody Gakpo, and that might be our only signing. But Tillerman's being so cheap, it would be a waste not to sign him. The World Cup might help us. It might hinder us, we might get injuries, but it also might help us. Ghana at the World Cup, aren't they? You know, we might be forced into the January transfer market to get a replacement for Thomas Partey if he gets injured. So, we will see. Until next time, peace out. Up again, us.